ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति। The 20 qualities is given here, and finally he says this 20 qualities itself is jnana. If you recollect, in the beginning of the chapter, Arjuna had asked Krishna to clarify 6 ideas. 6 things he said, kindly explain to me. In that, he had asked for Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnanam, Jneyam, Purusha, Prakriti. These 6 words kindly explain. That's the entire chapter. In that, Krishna had already explained the term Jnanam. Jnanam means understanding what is Kshetra and what is Kshetrajna. That is called Jnanam. Knowing that Kshetra is different, Kshetrajna is different. That's called Jnanam. Now, for the same word Jnanam, he is giving one more definition. He's giving those 20 qualities, and finally he concludes saying, Etat Jnanam. This is Jnanam. Iti Proktam. This is said, declared. Declared by whom? He is not saying, I am saying it. Right. Knowing Kshetra, Kshetrajna is his definition of Jnanam. Now he says this 20 qualities and says, Etat Jnanam iti Proktam. Thus declared. What? Possessing these 20 qualities itself is Jnanam. Now we get confused. Which is Jnanam now? Kshetra, Kshetrajna, or Amanitvam, Adambitvam, etc. That's why we need, people to come and explain to us. Say, no. What he is saying is correct. Kshetra, Kshetrajna is Jnanam. But then, what do you understand from these 2 terms? Sir, don't you know we don't know Sanskrit? Okay, I'll translate in English. Let's see. Kshetra means field. Kshetrajna means knower of the field. How do you understand? So literal translation, what is the meaning? Implied meaning you did know. Literal translation is Kshetra, field. Kshetrajna, knower of the field. No. We want what is the message there. Kshetra, matter. Kshetrajna, spirit. Now what do you understand? Oh, Does anything happen to you? Kshetra, Kshetrajna, nothing happened. Field, Nora field, nothing happened. Matter, spirit, still nothing happens. Why? Because if these 20 qualities are not there, the Kshetra, Kshetrajna will not make any impact. For those words, that terms to create an impact in you, to say something in you. Otherwise, it is just going to be a sound. That's it. There is no association. There is nothing happens. As a result of it, something should trigger in you. No? And I say, crystal, something should happen, right? Mouse. One person can say this is. Another person say what's running there. Nothing. I'm just giving example. Don't get scared. Right. This is also mouse. That is also mouse. One group may say this is mouse, another group, I am not worried about that. But when a word is said, there is something you are connecting with. Corresponding to that term, there is something happening in you. Like socialism. Something idea you have, no? Capitalism. It's not an object. You cannot show. Where is it? Socialism. Where do you show? You can't show me the script. I say that's a drawing. Isn't it? A. It's drawing. It is a symbol. Socialism. Where do you show? You cannot show. You cannot show me the letter typed or written. But you understand. See, some understanding will be there. Capitalism. You understand something. When I say Kshetra, Kshetrajna, does it create anything in you? The question is why? Even after explanation. Without explanation, you are not understanding. Okay, now I explain that to you. Even after explanation, it is not making an impact, imprint in you. It doesn't transform you. It doesn't create an understanding in you. The question asked by these people is why? What is the difference? And they found these qualities, absence and presence makes a difference. So therefore, presence of this quality alone creates a possibility to facilitate the study to create a transformation, the absence of which nothing happens. Therefore, the whole thing is dependent on the entire jnanam to be striking in you is dependent on the presence of these 20 qualities. Therefore, they say this 20 qualities itself is jnanam. And confirms that by saying what is opposite to this is ignorance. So, in the absence of these 20 qualities, even if you know Kshetra, Kshetrajna, you would be considered as ignorant only. So, that's what he says. Etat jnanam iti prokta. Jnanam yat atah anyata.
So, for clarification, the logic seems a little circular. In the sense, for jnanam, you need to have these qualities. But these qualities, then they say are jnanam. So, it's like,
No, absence of these qualities, not the qualities. In the absence of the qualities, even if you know Kshetra, Kshetrajna, you will be called as what?
ignorant.
Ignorant only. That's what he is saying.
But if I have
Opposite.
the qualities,
Hmm.
then I am a jnani.
No.
No.
Just because you are having that quality, there is a person who is humble. Can you say he is a jnani? No, no. A very humble person. There are people, who don't hurt. They don't hurt anyone. See? Right. Shaucham. There are people so clean, so meticulous. Go to Singapore, or that side, Switzerland. Go and see. Things are so clean. That doesn't mean all Singaporeans are jnanis. But in the absence of these qualities, even if you study the Shastra, it will not work on you. So therefore, presence of that quality alone makes that jnanam possible in you to strike. That link happens. Like I gave the example, mouse, socialism. There's a link that is happening. Don't worry whether it is a right link or wrong link. To what you are linking, what I am linking, that's all. It's a question of debate. So I said mouse. One person say what is running all over is called mouse. It will keep eating everything. This mouse doesn't eat anything. It doesn't run all over the places. I have to hold it. There is a tail. It doesn't have a tail. Right? A mouse. Then we can have a debate. That's a different thing. But when I use the word mouse to a person who doesn't know the language, so we think it is lack of language. That's why a lot of people today they say, I'm going to study Sanskrit. Why? I want to study Bhagavad Gita, therefore I'm going to study. It's exactly like saying, I want to read Shakespeare, therefore I'm learning English. You cannot go to spoken English class for 3 months, crash course. You do and come to Shakespeare. That is not possible. And that doesn't mean, spoken English class was wasted. What it can do, it can do. To go to a spoken English class with the idea of I would be able to read Shakespeare and understand Shakespeare. You're completely wrong. In which language Shakespeare has written? English, no. It's not written in Sanskrit. English only, sir. There's also English. Which class you are going to? English class only I'm going to. Can you read? Yeah, you can read. Still, put all the words together. Can you understand? That is not possible. So there is a gap. What is going to fill that gap? Same way for Vedanta study also. So most of us think it is lack of language. Now, without language, can you? That is also not possible. So, therefore, I don't have to learn English at all. No. You have to learn. But then that learning has to be of certain intensity. You cannot have elementary training in language to study Shakespeare. Similarly, you cannot have elementary Sanskrit knowledge to understand the Bhagavad Gita. Does it mean you should not go for Sanskrit class? I say you better go. Beautiful language. One of the best language. I would say. I can go on giving quotations also. Who all the great people who have acknowledged my statement. Anything you do, you cannot go there, because even if you understand the words, even if you understand the grammar, still in the absence of these qualities, the jnanam will not happen, which is contained in the words. Like the food that you are taking were very nutritious, no doubt. But if your absorption capacity of the body is not good, what will happen? All the food that you are taking, what will happen? Pass through. It cannot. So what is needed? A digestive power is needed. The capacity to absorb, digest and absorb. Now that kshetrajna you study, can you absorb that knowledge? That absorption cannot happen without the power. What is going to give you that power? The 20 qualities. Therefore, he says, Etat jnanam. This 20 qualities itself becomes jnanam, without which knowledge is not possible. And these qualities we have seen, and I've given you for which each qualities, what is to be done and all that, and there is some system you got to maintain. The first thing you have to do with any one of these qualities is, first you must have the capacity to appreciate that quality. Learn to appreciate it first. You know, when you see someone humble, learn to appreciate it. Okay. When there are things which are in order, appreciate it. That's where you start liking it. So, for any quality on which you wanted to work on, first requirement is there has to be a deep liking towards it. You should like that quality. You should feel, how it would be for me to possess that quality. Imagine how that would be. To be humble, it's not to have that damba, pretentious, ugly quality. It's trying to portray what you are not, what you do not have. You don't have that, but you project it. Take loan and buy a car. What is it? Huh? You're taking loan and buying a car. For what? You're not having that money with you. But then what? You wanted to show that as my car. It's not your car. That is bank's car. It's not yours. But then the key is with you. Therefore, you feel what? Damba. One who doesn't present. Develop an appreciation for it. Learn to appreciate it more and more when you start this appreciation. You will start slowly developing a liking towards it. An affinity towards it you will get. So that's how you have to do. So if you have to develop these qualities, what is to be done, sir? First, learn to appreciate it. After that appreciation comes that specific effort, that prayatna. What is the specific effort you have to put in to develop that unpretentiousness is very different from ahimsa. Ahimsa is a different quality. Non-injury is a different quality. Shaucham is a different quality. Vivikta Desha Sevitvam is a different quality. Right? Each one is a different quality. Now, for each quality, we have seen already what is that specific effort you have to put in. So, first, develop an appreciation, then come to this idea of effort. Without a deep appreciation to that quality, if you straight away jump into, what should I do, what should I do, what should I do? You will do, but nothing will happen to you. Why? There is no deep appreciation about it. And then two don'ts. In the beginning, step one, develop an appreciation followed by effort. Don't go on appreciating and not do anything. Another mistake. I appreciate sir, superb quality. I praise them to skies. And then my job is done. No, appreciation is a different thing. Effort is a different thing. So appreciate and then put an effort. Right? Do. Then immediately you have to have what you should avoid. Two things you got to avoid when you're reading this qualities. Avoid these two. Number one, don't start judging people. That's dumber. See? There is no humility, sir. Arrogance. You see? Arrogant. See, this person cannot be quiet, going on talking. Moaning. Quiet. That's impossible. These fellows. This is not what you are supposed to be doing when you are reading these qualities. It's a great temptation you will have. And why is because the way you try to understand the quality itself is faulty. There's a faulty method you use. The method you use is immediately you jump into where all I am having pride. You see, shaucham, you say, cleanliness. Immediately you start thinking, start looking where all there is dirt. See, that side is not dirt. See, this side is not. See, that is dirty. See, this is dirty. Wherever you go, you will start looking for dirt. See, that's a blunder. That is why you go on judging everyone. So don't get into this quality of judging people. This is not for you to judge others. Oh, then you will have a via media. What is it? No, I am not judging, sir, but I am assessing. As far as you are concerned, both are same. You got to assess people. No, you only said no. I only told you there are two different words, meaning there are two different words. There are two different things. Indigo is different, violet is different. Are they same? Indigo, violet, same. They are two different colors, no? I explained what is the RGB. What is RGB of indigo? What is RGB of this? That's all I explained. So assessment is different, judgment is different. But then, Every time you say I'm assessing, all that you are doing is judging. So no judgment, no assessment, direct or indirect. Mind your business. You have no other business. Shut your mouth and do your job and get out. If you have to speak, then open your mouth. Otherwise, shut up. Develop those qualities. Do not focus on who possesses how much. But you only said you should appreciate, no? Then I have to look everywhere who are all having this. Anything I say, you're trouble. That's why the best way is, the Akshanamurti style. Come and sit. I prefer Osho better. Dakshinamurti மேல போயிட்டார் அவர். He has excelled even Dakshinamurti. At least Dakshinamurti came and sat. Osho did not even come. For 3 years, his students, would come in the evening. 3 years, not a joke. 3 years, only his chair will be there. Everyone will assemble. They'll keep looking at his chair and go back. Say, Dakshinamurti, Osho is one step. Even Dakshinamurti couldn't do that. Chair. Can you believe chair? Imagine you come here. I have seen chairs. Lot. This is unbelievable. Huh? Hey, what is it here? Don't go there to judge. Remember. If you are not judging others, your judgmental, thing will not stop. If you don't judge others, you will start judging yourself. See, this judgment, mentality is like, whipping. When I say don't whip others, you will start whipping yourself. See, don't do that also. Don't get into judging others. What is whipping yourself? Judging others, you criticize. Judging yourself,
self-analysis.
Assessment is self-analysis. Same thing you are doing. Judging yourself. But then use a different word. Like we say, no? Housewife, homemaker. Any difference? Same thing. Pet parents. Pet parents. Same thing, no? Sales representative, sales executive. Same blue color bag, same blue trouser, same, white, then same tie, carry. And door to door you go and give your visiting card. I'm not telling company name. Another difference is, earlier, you came as sales representative. Now it is a sales executive. What difference does it make in terms of the job? You have started using. I'm not saying it's wrong. You see, giving a better word important or transforming their important? Which is important? In Tamil, there is a beautiful word they refer to. The wife, lady of the house. There's a fantastic word. Illal. Wife Like in Sanskrit, we say, Dharma Patni. The one who assists you to walk the path of Dharma. That's the meaning. Similarly, there is a beautiful word, illal. Imagine the same word they were to put it in masculine. Illan. Illan means what? A pauper. Illal means the one who rules the house. That's called illal. Right? Same thing you call a man, masculine, just a gender. Illal. Ill, if you say it is feminine, an is masculine. Just change the word. Illan. No ill. Pockets empty. It's very demeaning. Transformation should happen there, not in words, please. Like judgment and assessment, here you do what? Self-analysis. No. How do you know? When you are reading these qualities, if you start whipping yourself, means you start developing a guilt of not having that quality. Instead of inspiration, more and more you start appreciating that quality, you start developing a guilt for not having it. Dangerous position, remember. If judging others is one type of blunder, another type of blunder we see in people is they get into the guilt mode of not having all those things. See? That's why you start appreciating people who have certain things. Like, there is a great Swami who has come. For the last 20 years, only water. He was not eating anything. No solid food. Only water. Who will get impressed? A glutton will get impressed with this. You see that? A glutton alone will get impressed by these things. Never touches money. Who will say that? Who gets inspired? It's teaching, he doesn't charge anything. My God, wow. I said, not in retail, wholesale. My charges are not retail. I'll take in wholesale. These people are retail, useless fellows. Wholesale we take. It doesn't touch money. So what? So, what's wrong with that? Who gets impressed? Who gets impressed by saying, this man doesn't even touch money, he doesn't charge anything, nothing. Just lives. Whoever comes, he teaches. Whoever is not there, doesn't. Like Shankarabharam, Shankar Sastri, we have to live. Torn dhoti. You get impressed. Wow, he is a great man. Yes.
Does judgment mean comparison also? Judgment of people. Does it mean comparing myself with others?
No, judgment, one facet of it is comparison, but not always. It's not that you have to, compare yourself with them or You can compare A to B, not necessarily you come into picture at all. Like Tendulkar better batsman or Lara better batsman? Who's better? Like we had no in earlier days, we used to compare Gavaskar and Vishwanath. Who is, sir, Vishwanath is different, sir. Lot of you. Lot of them say Vishwanath, no. Gavaskar is, is different, sir. Now, there are you. Okay, do you know batting? You know the difference? Square drive and square cut? அதுவே தெரியாது. Top spin, googly, what is the difference? Do you know? We don't know. But then we start comparing, Shane Warne better or Muralidharan? Do you know anything about bowling? No, nothing. You go by what? There are you coming into picture. So comparison need not be always with you. Comparison can be with anywhere there are two, comparison comes. See, so one facet of judgment is through comparison. So if you don't judge others, the mind will not stop. It will start judging itself and keep on telling you what? See that person, see yourself. See that person, see yourself. See that person, see yourself. Or it will say, look at that quality and look at yourself. Look at that quality, look at yourself. Look at that quality, look at yourself. And we genuinely think development of this guilt is spiritual, something noble, something divine about it. Remember, going to God out of fear is wrong. Going to God out of greed, greater wrong. Going to God out of guilt, ultimate. No saving. Quotation, huh? Because these people are doing, this, they're supposed to check and, do that timeline, they are checking, in every class to put it in. Please. I can't insult my guru like that. Like last week, doing that, poems. Select English poems. I have never taken that book, Select English Poems. Not because it's very complicated, or not because it is, boring. When I open the book, I feel guilty. Say, hey, you interpreting Matthew Arnold. So, unfortunately, last class, that poems were there. Wordsworth and Matthew Arnold, the poems were there. So I had to explain. So first thing I told the class was this. I seek my apologies to those people. I'm going to interpret your poem. Going to God out of fear. Reaching to God out of greed. Seeking God out of guilt. Blunder. Of the three, the worst is guilt. Because fear will be known. Greed also can be exposed. Guilt carries a divine notion along with it. Therefore, the chances of you to correct yourself gets almost not possible. Other two, you can realize there's a chance. Like they say, the garva that you get out of knowledge, the knowledge itself will help you to come out. The garva that you get out of strength, power, that itself will help you. But the garva that you get out of wealth, wealth cannot help. The help has to come from some other source. If I am, having that ego out of wealth, can wealth help you? But if you have garva out of knowledge, the knowledge can help you. More knowledge if you gain, what will happen? Correct. Okay. What about wealth? More wealth? More wealth, more wealth, more. Wealth will not help. Something else other than wealth has to come and assist. Now, guilt if you have, forget this Janma. So, of the three, I say the most dangerous is the guilt of not possessing these qualities, not having it. So, don't judge others, don't fall into the trap of guilt. See, after all this, you start your effort. Along preparation. What is the preparation, sir? First, develop a liking, appreciation, and liking. Then you define, plan what is the effort you have to put in to develop that quality. Along with that, you also need to understand this is not to be judging others. It's not to give your comments about other people. Nor is it to be discussed whether how much you have, how much you don't have, or rather how much you don't have. So don't get into the guilt also. Then actual effort starts. Whatever the effort is, depending upon the qualities, you have to put in those efforts. So your efforts will start. Now, as your effort starts, after you see, now what I am referring to is after you have started your effort. So till now, what we have seen is I put in effort. Now, post your effort, what happens is there is always a chance of your efforts, and in your effort itself, you may fail, falter. Right? Not the result. I'm not talking about your result is not producing, your result is not coming. That quality is not showing up in you. Right? That is not what I'm talking about. I'm saying your effort itself will lose. You'll fail in that effort, not failure of the result. You fail in the very effort itself. That is the most crucial moment in the entire spiritual effort. See, starting is not the problem. For most of us, starting problem will not have. We'll start. But then, as you are putting your efforts, results also will come. Chipram hi manushe loke, he says. Like that, you will get success in this world. There, what is the problem? Brahmalokala, you have to wait. Here, like that, you will get results. So little effort you put in, you will get the results here. That's not an issue at all. We are not talking about the results not being produced. The problem is when you are putting that effort in that effort itself, there will be a hurdle. This is where two things alone will help you. One, the satsang. Two, devotion. What will assist you is only these two things. Satsang and devotion alone has the power to support at that stage. Devotion itself will not grant anything to you. Remember, I am so devoted to God, therefore nothing will happen. You see, the qualities will not emerge because of it. But without devotion, can you continue? That is also not possible. That's why this effort, along with knowledge, cuts through that steel of ignorance. But it needs a lubrication. The oil is needed. If you don't have that lubrication, oil, cutting is not possible. So one end of the scissor is karma, effort. Other end of the scissor is knowledge, study, etc. That's what cuts. For the cutting to happen smoothly, you need oil. A lot of us, what do we do? I'll go on pouring oil. You can't cut the steel. Can you cut the steel without oil also? Yeah, you can start. Initially, it will cut. Right? After few centimeters, what will happen? That's the tragedy of our condition today. Last generation, people were believing only oil is enough. Through oil itself, I will cut the steel. One group. Now the current group is what? Without oil, I am going to cut the steel. Because cutting and oil, is there any connection? What is the proof? Last gen, went to the temple every day, but I didn't pass the exam. No. How will you pass? You have to study and write the exam. No. The fellow never studied, didn't even go to the exam hall. He's sitting in that, temple, chanting Mahamantra. Some mantra they have given, somebody has given him some mantra, that's a Mahamantra. And I am chanting that Mahamantra. I am chanting, 10,008 Gayatri Mantra. Exam time, you are not supposed to chant Gayatri Mantra. You are supposed to imagine exam paper, like Gayatri Mantra, if you keep writing. How will you pass this? You will not pass. This is our argument. Sir, my father also did all those things. Sir, what has happened? He lost all the money. Losing money and he doing this has no connection. For cutting the steel, cutting the samsaric problem is possible only through the effort, prayatnam, along with knowledge and understanding. Without understanding, if you do your karma, you land up in mechanicalism. Without the knowledge, if there is bhakti, you land up in fanaticism. So knowledge stands as the backbone for both these things. That's what Vidyaranya gives a beautiful example. It's like a bird flying. A bird flying. What is a flying? All of us can see the bird is using the wings. But how many of us see the tail? He says, karma and bhakti are like wings. The tail is jnana. It sets the direction. The tail is the one which sets the direction. But that energy to fly is coming from where? From the wings only. If there are no wings, what will happen? tail இருக்கு, wings இல்லை. Like cheetah, the leopard, this cheetah, no, when they run, they keep the tail erect. Have you seen? All other times the tail will be, it will hang. When it starts chasing, suddenly it gets. Why? The entire speed, acceleration, control, everything comes from the tail. You cut the tail, that's it. As a cat, there's no more cheetah. It cannot hunt. It cannot run and chase and catch. Not possible. But when it is running, you see it's using the legs. But we don't register the relevance of the tail. Similarly, the jnanam gives direction. But the direction should be coupled with the effort of what? Karma and bhakti. Now we ask the question, why bhakti? What is the role of bhakti there? The bhakti gives you only lubrication. When you falter, you fail in your efforts. When your efforts are not producing the results. When the results doesn't commensurate with your efforts, what is going to motivate you to continue with your effort? Only devotion. Bhakti alone has the power. Nothing else has that power. And the power of bhakti you will know only at that point. Not before, not after. After that, it is of no use. Before that, if you have bhakti also, it's of no use actually. When you are not putting that effort, having bhakti is of no use. Without bhakti, if you put an effort also, it is of no use. So then what is the role? The role is this, very critical. The entire spiritual effort he completes. Jnanam. What is that? How do you gain that jnanam? He says, have these 20 qualities. With the 20 qualities, go to the investigation of Kshetra Kshetrajna. Then comes the next topic. Jneyam, to be get. What is to be known will be known. See? Like Shaunaka goes and asks in Mundaka Upanishad, what is that one knowledge with which I know everything? Fascinating question. The teacher says, if you want to know that, that is possible only through two knowledges. You see, amazing one. The student is coming and asking, I want that one knowledge. The teacher says, to know that one knowledge, you need two knowledge. One is called apara, another one is called para. Through that para and apara vidya, you understand that one knowledge. Super one. Same way, says, through that you understand what is to be known. What is to be known? There is only one thing to be known. That is, I am Atma Brahma. That is all to be known. This Atman is Brahman. That's the only knowledge you need to gain. No other knowledge is considered as worthy enough to be gained. When I'm planning to do a PhD, it is a useless one. When I say I'm going to do, he was not very happy. My guru. Swamiji was not happy. After finishing, I went and told him, Swamiji, I completed. Tragedy. Idiot. 13th chapter you teach, and then you do this. Jnayam. What is to be known? That's what Arjuna asked. So now Krishna is moving to the next idea. What is Jnayam? Verse 13.
ज्ञेयं यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परं ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते ज्ञेयं यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परं ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते.
I will declare that which has to be known, which having known one enjoys immortality. Beginningless is the Supreme Brahman. That is called neither Sat, existent, nor Asat, non-existent. Now he is moving to the next topic. Jnayam 13 to 19 verses. He is going to explain what is that Jnayam. So far, every class was so interesting. Qualities. Now, these verses, be absolutely dry. Very dry. I can't make it interesting. Don't say, can't you teach it in a in interesting manner? Nuclear physics, how do you explain interesting? Not possible. You got to stretch yourself. Remember, this topic is straight Upanishad. 13th chapter shoots up. 14th chapter he comes down. 15th chapter again he shoots up. 16th chapter settles. Hot and cold. Like you say in Tamil, no? Teliya vechi atikkirathu. A group of fellows, catch hold of a guy who's talking, a lady. So they catch hold of the fellow and whack him. One fellow will come in between and say, hey, stop. Give him some drinks. We'll have that soda and all those things. And then he'll ask him, can you see my hand? Yes. What is this? 1. What is this? 2. Now hit him. Hey, why are you doing it? Where? If you're not conscious, if I hit you, will you feel the pain? No. How do I know? I will not feel the pain. That is why. That's an ancient, style. The Greek ones, the pronouncements will be like that. They will say 100 lashes. 21st lash only the fellow will collapse. What to do? They will take him, apply medicine, give him food. The fellow will have 1 month, he will recover. After recovery, bring 22, 23, 24 will start. Again the fellow collapse. Again they will take him. 47, 48, 49. That's what Krishna is doing here. Smooth shoots. Again 14 comes down. Again 15 goes up. Now this is a height he is going. If you can fly that height, it's amazing. It's such a joy it is. Then this 20 qualities will look like boring. Manitvam, Madambitvam, Ahimsa, Shanti. What forgiveness? Titiksha. Too ordinary. Yes. Pravakshyami, I'll declare. Meaning, I'll teach. Now I'm going to teach. Now I'm going to explain to you. What is it I'm going to explain? Jnayam, which you had asked for. Right? What is the teaching here? That which has to be known. To be known is called Jnayam. So Jnanam means knowledge. Jnayam is the object of that knowledge. What is that is communicated through that knowledge is called Jnayam. This Jnayam is the central theme of the entire Shastra. See, entire Shastra, Vedas, the whole gamut of Shastras, where having the reference point is the Veda. In that Veda, what is the reference point? Not Karma Kanda portion, it is Jnana Kanda portion, which is the Upanishadic portion. So he says, what is the theme of the Upanishadic portion? Upanishads teach only one thing, Brahman. So the central theme of this is what is to be known. So what I'm going to teach you is what is to be known. What are you supposed to understand? One. Second one is the qualifications needed for that I have already taught you. The 20 qualities, what he has given to you already, is the qualifications needed for you to enter into this investigations of what is that Jnana, what is to be known, what is that Brahman. So a qualified person alone can get in. That is why he has presented the 20 qualities in between. See, that's the bridge. What is the link? He is establishing the link here. He is saying, I will declare. So then what we need to inquire here? Then what did he teach earlier now? And why he taught that first and then this? Is that teaching is a necessity, because without that, Jnayam is not possible. What is that Jnayam? That is Brahman. And that Brahman is explained through 3 words here. He uses 3 words to define that Brahman. Anadimat. Second line. Anadimat. Param Brahma. So that Brahman is Anadimat. That Brahman is Param Brahma. And na Sat, na Asat. It is neither Sat nor Asat. So 3 words explaining that Brahman. Also is said, by what is to be known, if you know, what will happen? If you know what is not to be known, what is not necessary to be known, what is going to happen? You follow? What is to be known, when you say, on what basis we will say this is what is supposed to be known?
There are other things not to be.
Not, how do you know that? There are so many things. The chemistry is there, physics is there, botany is there, biology is there, computer is there, and the nanotechnology is there, that technology, stock market is there, this is there, that is there. So many things are there, no? And then in between, Upanishads also there. Vedanta class also there. Now we say, Vedanta class is what? Vedanta class is teaching you Brahman. This Vedanta class is all that is supposed to be attended to, nothing else. That's why Swamiji got very angry with me. I said, I wanted to study this. He said, after this, you want to study that? It's very interesting. Jnayam. Jnayam means what? Jnayam needs to be established as Jnayam. You cannot claim something to be Jnayam. You see, you can't simply say, yeah, what is to be known? Should you know medicine or not? Yeah. If I have a problem, I call you, no? Please, what is to be done? What medicine to be taken? Right? And the doctor says what? Sir, can you recommend some good architect? Why? I'm getting a lot of patients. I wanted to build a hospital. Then the knowledge of medicine is of no use to that fellow to build a hospital. And then after building the hospital, he says what? I'm getting a lot of money. நல்ல ஒரு சார்ட்டர்ட் அக்கௌண்டன்ட்டா சொல்லுங்க. இவரு வானா சார். There's one fellow who attends, not the students who attend your class. Who is that fellow? Yeah, he's my student. அப்படின்னா வானா. And somebody has filed a case on him. He says, can you refer a good lawyer? Now my question is, which is essential knowledge? What is Nyayam? Medicine? Architecture? Accounts? Law? Nyayam. How do you know what is Nyayam? There has to be a reference point, no? As a test. The test to say, yes, this is called Nyayam. This knowledge is Nyayam. Can you say medicine Nyayam? Can you say this Nyayam? That? Now, even to claim, yes, medicine is Nyayam, you need a reference. What is going to be the reference point? That he is giving here. Amrutam Ashnute. Knowing which one enjoys Amrutam. Mrita means mortality, death. Amrita means immortality, deathlessness. Any subject, any piece of knowledge for you to claim that it is Nyayam, the reference point is it leading you to Mrita or Amrita? If it produces Amritatva in you, that is Nyayam. One verse he finishes all that. I'll declare, I'm going to teach. What I'm going to teach? Nyayam. How do you know that is Nyayam? Anything that gives you that immortality, deathlessness, Amritam Ashnute, knowing which you will enjoy Amritam. Okay. Then what is that knowledge? What are you going to talk about? Brahma. So Brahma is Nyayam. So what is Nyayam? Nyayam is Brahma. You have to know that Brahman. Not Brahma. அது வந்து masculine. Brahman, neuter gender. Don't mix up. Brahma, there. Brahman, there. This Brahma is what? Says this Brahma has 3 qualities in it. Right? And finally he says, Ashnute, Uchate. I will declare, Pravakshyami, I will teach. What I'm going to teach? I'm going to teach exactly as being said by those masters. So which means it is not my discovery. It is not that I have found out something and I'm telling you. No. what was presented there in the Upanishads, what was declared by those Upanishadic masters, that I'm going to teach you. A very important style. Now, in our in our tradition, we do not subscribe to anyone who says, I have found out, I am teaching you. If anybody says that, we will say, get out. Whoever that man can be, we don't care. That will not be accepted. That is the strength of the tradition. That itself becomes a weakness of the tradition also. See, the same thing. But it's the beauty of the tradition is this, I say. The beauty is we will not accept unless it is coming from that tradition. That sequence has to be there. That parampara should be there. Without the parampara, the person says, I was sitting under the tree, I was watching the ocean, suddenly something happened to me. Now, go a hospital join. We are going to say that, or at best we will say what? Very good. But you will not be taken as a teacher. That will not be accepted. You cannot be an acharya because of that. I'm talking from my experience. Who cares? We don't bother about your experiences. Where is it set? If it is taught by you and you are going to teach exactly the same thing, you got to repeat it verbatim as it were. Other, I'm going to modify in between. You modify in between, finished. The tradition, very, very important word to say exactly. That's why it's very tough for translations. See, when you're going to translate from one language to another language, very difficult for us to communicate. It's better to communicate in that language original. That's better. Translation is a problem. Why? Because of this reason. See, titiksha. How do you translate? Shraddha. How do you translate? We're going to see this word, sat and asat. Every word, there's three words, Anadimat. Adi, Anadi, Anadimat. See, beginningless. Beginningless doesn't communicate. Something which has never begun, that means what? Never started. That means IPL never started. Means
Doesn't exist.
doesn't exist. Correct? Anadimat. First thing he says, defining Brahman, first thing he says about Brahman is what? It is Anadi. Anadi means no beginning. No beginning means never started. Never started means it's not existing. Something which has never started, how can it be running? Sir, I wanted to start a business, I never started. That means what? That means I had a lot of idea of, startup, but I never started. Never started means never began. Never began means, is it existing now? Now it cannot have an existence. Maybe you can start later on, then it can have an existence. He says, Brahman is what? Anadi. Anadi means no beginning. No beginning means now it is not there. So straight away, we come to conclusion what? Brahman is something which is non-existent. Then immediately he says Sat. There is Sat. And confirming that. What is confirmation of that? It is neither Sat nor Asat. Correct, sir. See, there is no God. I am with Krishna. All these atheistic fellows, when they study Bhagavad Gita properly, they will understand. They will say, I think Krishna is the first atheist, they will say. Oh, Anadimat, Param Brahma. What is the nature of that, sir? Anadimat, Param Brahma, and Na Sat, Na Asat. Words is so interesting. Forget about the meaning and interpretations and all those things. The words itself is it's a beauty of it. We'll see the explanation next class. Yes.
Slightly to Ramayana. So, 16 qualities of Rama, one of them is soundness.
Hmm.
So how is that considered great? Because I think when son is born, he cannot really develop it well. Are other qualities maybe somebody can?
No. You can transform your body. Possible, no? You can go for diet. You can go for, coloring. Little bit. Lot of them we see nowadays, that Instagram post on they send, people grooming. They suddenly, they'll take one fellow, a beggar in the street. They'll take him in. And then, it comes out that fellow looks like a multimillionaire. You will not believe that guy is a beggar. They say, now you go into the street. Everybody looks, wow, man. Saundarya. There's a physical attraction. It's nothing to do with the physical beauty. It's not that physical handsomeness. Handsome is that handsome does. Say no. Handsome is that handsome does. Someone is so handsome. Say not because he is appearance and his dress and all those things. No. But you can't discount that also. See, so certain personalities, when they walk, the way they stand, the way they shake their hands, the way they look, people do it as a grooming now. These managers are there. They train them. There's a trainer they have for the hero and heroine to do close romantic scene. They have some name for that.
Intimacy director.
Intimacy, correct.
Intimacy director.
Intimacy director. No. Hey, why? Because you have to show that, no? How do you bring that in you? Indira Gandhi is training. Why? Because during her time, everybody was walking to the step one by one. Suddenly, this lady, taka, 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 what a dynamic lady. Hey, steps dana. Climbing a step. MGR, Tamil Nadu. People, unbelievable, huge, that the garland, they bring. And they put it, 3 fellows will carry that and put it on him. He will take it out in one hand and throw. Power, sir. Why? Saundarya. That's Saundarya. Not just the physical beauty. Of course, that is also there. But there is something beyond that physical attractiveness. 6 packs. Imagine Rama, coming like that, Japan Buddha. Short, stout, big bellied, with the. You will laugh. Impossible. You need that, attraction. This fellow, handsomeness of him, you know. These poets, the way they describe, Kambaramayana, you got to read. I don't know. You are familiar with Tamil? No. You're missing. This Kambaramayana, the way he describes Rama, appearance, beautiful one. You can relish that. So Saundarya, you can develop it, but then it comes to him naturally. That's what the meaning. The 16 qualities is not cultivated by Rama. It was naturally existing in Rama. That's all it is. So we understand what is natural to him, we cultivate.